Hi everybody, welcome back with another video by CodeChit, and in today's video we're going to see how you can build a chatbot using OpenAI latest, not latest but yeah, like it's almost the latest model. It is called GPT 3.5 Turbo. It is a very similar to GPT 3.5 that you were using, or like a Text DaVinci G03, something like that, but it's cost effective because the pricing of it is like a, as comparatively if you will compare this from DaVinci, it's way less. Okay, because in DaVinci, you were paying around like a $0.02 for 1,000 tokens, but here in GPT 3.5 Turbo, you will be paying 0.002 on per thousand tokens. Okay, $0.002 on per 1,000 tokens. And the thing is, like this specific model is especially designed for a chatbot like an application. So if you are thinking to build a chatbot application using these model, like using an OpenAI, and then I think this model will be the best for you, and that's what we are going to use in this video. Uh, by the way, we will be using a Vue.js, particularly in this video, but as I would say, like fundamentals are the same, so you can implement in whatever framework or language do you like. Let's say if you want to build in React or something, React or Angular or anything like that. Okay, even if you want to build this in like a vanilla JavaScript, you can build it. So idea behind making this video is to give you an idea like how to use this model and integrate with your current application. So that was like overall idea, like why I'm making this video. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So let me just initiate a Vue project. For those who don't know about Vue, use a sort of a lightweight framework, just like React and Angular. I don't think like I have to tell you much about that because this is not the video for Vue.js, but it's more on like how to integrate this thing with Vue.js. So let me just initiate, and I hope you are watching this. If you are watching this video in terms of Vue.js, then you know how to initiate a project. Okay, but even if you don't know that, like let me give you a resource name. Vite. You can use this build tool to basically initiate a Vue project. Okay, and yeah, it's a very easy. Like you will enter this command npm init create Vite at the latest, or even you can like type npm init Vite at the latest. Okay, but yeah, you can go through this documentation. You'll find like how to install this, and after that go inside your terminal and inside a directory wherever you are making this project, and type npm init Vite at the latest, or to be more specific you can also type create Vite at the latest. Okay, and once you've done that, like you will see something like this. Let me show you. So yeah, so here you have to enter your project name, like what project, what you want to keep, what you want to keep the name of this project. So I'm gonna keep like a chat bot view. Okay, and I'm gonna, here you have to choose the framework that you are going to use, or I'm gonna use Vue, so I will go with that. And here I'm going to choose JavaScript. Yeah, cd chatbot view, and here npm install. Let me do npm install. Okay, wait a minute. So yeah, it can take some time. Just wait for a minute. Okay, so now it's done. Now open this project inside code editor. I mean like VS Code or whatever IDE you are using basically. Okay, or once you have done that, then you'll see something like this, or whatever framework you're using according to that. Okay, so now what we will do, let me just run this for a second. Npm run dev, and our server is running at like localhost 5173 port. So let me go inside this localhost 5173. Okay, So here you can see our project has been initiated, and here it is working perfectly. Okay, so let me just delete all these boilerplate that we have inside a component. I'll go here and here. I'm just going to remove this. I'm on a scaffold. For those who want to know like how I did this, so basically this is a view plugin that you can install to do these sort of like a sort of a boilerplate task. Okay, so yeah, okay, once you've done that, like now let me just type hello world, and if I go there, you can see it's a hello world. There are still two images out there. Let me just remove this as well. So what we can do, like, just let me just remove this one. Now it's a hello world, and now let me delete these as well, and CSS, or for now let's just keep the CSS, okay, because it's in center and that's what we want. So for now let's just keep it, but yeah, you can style and design according to your need, okay, however you want. So now the second thing that you need is like a OpenAI API key, okay, because only then you will be able to make a request on the server, right? So I'm gonna use my OpenAI key, and here let me go inside. In order to get, if you don't have any API key, then you have to go at website, this website called platform.openai.com. So let's log in. If you haven't made any account, then just sign up. If you do have an account, then just click on continue with Google. Okay. Initially, as a if it's a new account, then you will get some credits free. It used to be like $18, but now I think they have reduced it like to $5 or something. But yeah, and after that, click on this profile section, and here click on this view APIs keys, and here you will see I already have three different API keys, and click on create new secret key. Okay, and once you'll click on it, it will give you API key. Although I'm gonna delete this API key, so it doesn't make any sense even if you copy it. But yeah, I will not. So I'm gonna just delete this after this video. Just copy this API key and store it somewhere, because after that, once you click on this OK button, you will not be able to retrieve this API token again. Okay, so only way to get a new API key is by creating new one. Like you have to click on create new secret key, and then copy that API token. So okay, we have now our API key. Here let me just inside this, although it's not a good idea to like store your API key and something like that at client side, but just to give you an idea like how it how you can integrate it, I'm just going to store it here for now. API key. Okay, so I forgot to do like return. Although by the way, I'm using option AI API. For those who know like what a view is, who have for those who have worked with like a view, they know what is the option APIs and composition API. So I'm using here like option API, and here API key would be the one that we have copied there. Okay, so now we have our API key. Now the only thing we need is like a way to make a request on the server, right? But before that, let's see a documentation of how we can use this particular model, because if I'm not wrong, then way to use this model is kind of different than what we used to have while we were using DaVinci, ADA, and Babel, or some sort of thing. Okay, so we have this. Okay, that's fine. So now you have to now let's open OpenAI API reference. Okay, so I'll link this particular URL in our description, so you can go and check this out. So basically what this is, here you can find almost everything, like all the API request, like how to make that request as well. Okay, so I'm going to use this chat one, and here you can see what are the things that we need. So parameters would be these two things, like the first one is the model indeed. It will be GPT 3.5 Turbo, and there will be messages. So messages, in that there would be an initial object. Basically it defines, not defines, but yeah. So there are like one thing I forgot to tell you, like in new this GPT 3.5 Turbo, there are three sort of thing. The first role would be there are three types of roles basically. The first role is like a kind of system which you define initially when you are initiating a project. That's an optional, by the way. Like it is just to tell this chatbot to how to behave, you know. If you will say like you are a math teacher, then it will behave like that and something like this. Okay, so this is for that, and it's not a mandatory. That is just an optional. Okay, and then there is a two different thing, like a role user and the role assistant. If I'm not wrong, then I think it's assistant. Okay, so there will be one role user. User is something you can consider the person who is asking, who's interacting with the chatbot. Okay, so this is the role, and the content that you can see here is your actual prompt basically. Okay, so whatever you will enter here, in return you will get something like this. Okay, where your role will be assistant and there will be your content by completing your sentence or by giving you an answer. Okay, so that's how you can like define API request in like for this particular thing. And this is an endpoint actually, https api.openai.com v1 slash chat slash completions. Okay, so we are going to use this one, and we will be entering this parameter, and we will get this response in back. Okay, so this is the first step that we will do. And there's one more thing. As you can see, the messages is an array of objects. Inside this inside this array you can have multiple responses stored. Okay, so whatever you're talking, like let's say a user is interacting with the chatbot. So whatever response we will get, we will store this inside this array, so that it will have a context of what we are talking about. Okay, so let's say in first scenario we said like, hey, who's Elon Musk? Okay, so it will give us an answer like Elon Musk is an entrepreneur and this and that. Okay, and after that you don't have to mention like when Elon Musk was born. You only thing that you need to say is like when he was born. Okay, and it will automatically get the context, like in which context you are talking about, because you have stored that response in this messages section. Okay, so that's how we are thinking to design it. So now let's try to implement this and see if it works. So yeah, let's install Axios first. npm install Axios, save. Okay, so we have our Axios installed. Now let me import this Axios from Axios. Okay, so first thing that we will do, like we will test this particular endpoint, like whether it works or not. Of course it will work, but basically we will see like if we have set up it right if we have set up it in right way or not. Okay, that's what I was saying, sorry. So inside a mounted, so this is the mounted hook. So this is the function. This hook will get executed automatically whenever we will reload or refresh this thing. Okay, whenever we will reload and refresh this component, this hello world component, it will automatically get executed. I can show you. Let me give you like, let me console log something, console log mounted, and if you'll see like each time when I reload this, you can see like this hook uh, is getting executed. Okay, so inside this we will basically test our API endpoint. We will hit a request to this endpoint and we'll see if we are getting something in response or not. But before that, let's see like how to make Axios records, because I've really forgot that. Because I really forget that basically. Axios post with the headers. And okay, so this is the post and there would be a data and then after that headers. Okay, it makes sense. So let me just copy this one. And here, let me do this. Inside headers, what we will do, we will copy this one. Okay, I'll explain you everything, don't worry. And inside data, this is an actual portion where we will pass our this thing, parameters to say. Okay, we are right now, we are just testing it, so don't worry, I'll explain you everything how it works. And let me just copy this endpoint and replace this with this one. So this one, and here application.json, it's correct. Authorization, it will be basic, or yeah, better. And here we will have our token plus, or we will plus this dot API key. Okay, and once we get our response, let me just change the content, and here we will ask like, who is Elon Musk? Elon Musk. Okay, so that's what we are going to ask. And now let me just console log the response that we are getting. Or let me just like print this here. Okay, we will see in JSON format, but yeah, we will like filter everything out. Result, by default it will be null. Okay, and once we have our response, then we will basically assign this to our result. This dot result equal to res dot data. Okay, now let's see if we are yeah, you can see here it is working perfectly. Here you can see like Elon Musk is a South African born American entrepreneur and businessman, best known as a CEO and founder and blah blah. Okay, so which means like our request is working fine. So all we need to do is like all we need to do now is like we have to build a chatbot. Okay, so first of all, let me just give you some clarity like how it's gonna be. So here I said like we will have a messages. Okay, and inside this messages it can be empty initially. If you want to keep something inside this, like if you want to give some like default context to it, you can keep it, but for now for us like it will be empty. Okay, so let me just save this, and this will be our messages. Okay, and after that this will be our input. Let me just create a input section, input, and let me bind this with v model user prompt. So whatever user will enter inside this input will get stored in this variable user prompt. Okay, so that's what it means. I'm not going to style right now. Okay, so we will do it later, or maybe you can do it by yourself, but I'm here just to give you an idea like how to do this thing. Okay, so we have our let me just use let me just define this here first. By default this will be empty, and if we will type anything here, it will get stored inside this user prompt. Okay, So here the second thing is like when user sends a request, submit a prompt. When user submits prompt, then what we will do, we will basically copy this, we will take this. So this portion is correct, like we are making a post request at this particular endpoint. Okay, the chat slash completion. Here our model will be the same GPT 3.5 Turbo. Here it will be a little bit different. Okay, so what we will do here is like first of all, here like first of all we will like a form object, okay, that we want to pass. So by default our messages is like blank. Okay, so here we will create a prompt in this format, like in the format the way it is accepting. So const user prompt, you can say, and it will be in this format, like a role will be user because the user is asking. That's the important thing to keep in mind. And the content will be the same that user has asked here, like user prompt. Okay, and we can basically pass this here. Okay, so this will be this dot user. That's how you access particular data in view. Okay, so once you have this, we have formed it in a correct structure. Now what we will do, we will basically push this inside of messages. This dot messages equal to this dot messages dot push. I think we don't even need to do this, right? We will simply do this like this dot messages dot push user prompt. Okay, and after that what we will do, we will simply assign our messages to this dot messages. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are basically pushing this user prompt inside this messages section, and after that we are passing that messages to this parameter. Okay, so now we have updated parameter of messages, and after that there is one more step which will be important to maintain the context. Okay, to talk while we are what we are talking. So here, I've already shown you one thing is that, like here you can see we get this response, right? Inside restaurant data there will be a choices inside, uh, and its first element inside its first element there will be a property called messages, and this is the important thing that we will need, that we will be using. Okay, so basically what we will do, like once we get the data, we will simply store this data, this particular object inside our messages, so that next time it can it will have context of what of these responses basically. Okay, so next time it will have a context of these responses, basically the questions and answers that we have asked. Okay, so we will store everything inside these messages. Okay, I hope it's clear. Okay, if it's not, then you can literally ask me in like, not literally, but yeah, you can ask me in like comment box, and I'll try to explain you as good as I can. Okay, so now what we will do, we have our result, but now I don't think you even if you need a result to say. Okay, I'll explain you why, but let me do one more thing. So here what we will do, we will push data, rest.data, and inside this okay, so inside this we'll be selecting this choices, rest.data.choices, and we will take a first element of it, which is this one, by using 0th index, and inside that we will take this message dot message. Okay, so by doing this, now our message would look something like this dot messages would look something like this, like there will be this one, and then after that there will be something like this one. Okay, or whatever response we will get. I hope you get what I wanted, what I mean. Okay, so yeah, I think this is pretty much it. And once you have done that, we have pushed this inside our messages. What we need to do here is like, all we need to do is like, we have to loop this li. I'm gonna like use li and v4, and here I'm just gonna like use message in messages, and let me pass key. And here the first let's first we so the okay, don't get confused. Okay, so first thing we will have here is like a rule, what rule this particular message has. So we can do that by like message dot rule. Okay, because it can be like a user, it can be like assistant, okay, it can be anything. So it will basically tell like what role this thing is, this thing has, and after that there will be our message, which we can access using message dot content. Right, I think I'm right, and I think that's pretty much it. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, but first of all, let me just remove this one because we don't need it, this one at all, this at all. And I'm also going to remove this one as well. But yeah, there's one thing that we forgot, is like we didn't figure out like yet how this thing will get triggered. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this button here, button click. So whenever someone will click on this button, it will submit its just prompt. Click, and here if I, let's just add this method. Okay, so there is one more mistake that I'm making here, is that this thing will be inside methods section. Okay, inside methods section, and now I think it's good. Okay, so let me show you how we can let me, now let's test whether it works or not. Okay, so here let me refresh this, and here let's type who is Elon Musk. Okay, and if I type submit, I hope it should work. Okay, so I think we have encountered some sort of an error. Let me see. Okay, network section here. Who is Elon Musk? Nah, it's not even sending a request. I think we are making some sort of mistake here. Submit prompt. Okay, so we haven't saved it, I think. Okay, now I think this one should work. Let me remove this hello world as well because it's just annoying. Okay, so now if I type who is Elon Musk, here user has entered his query, who is Elon Musk, and in return we have a response by assistant who's saying like Elon Musk is a billionaire entrepreneur and inventor known for his involvement in a number of successful technologies venture, okay, including electric. Of course you can read that. And after that, the best thing to see here is like if I say something where he was born. We can see Elon Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa on June 28, 1971. And the thing is like we haven't mentioned here like where Elon Musk was born. We just said like where he was born. So you can clearly see like it is maintaining a context as well. So this way you can like literally build your chatbot. Although I can literally waste my time right now by designing and styling it, but you can do that by yourself. Okay, so it's not a big thing. So I hope you get an idea like how to use this particular model and integrate this with your application. In a similar way, you can do it in anything. Okay, be it DaVinci. Be it in like vanilla JavaScript and Angular, React, whatever you are using, whatever framework you're using, you can use and build something like this. And one of the most important thing is like don't use API key directly like this. It's not recommended. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it in this video. I hope you liked it, and if you liked this video, then don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe this channel. I'll see you in the next video, and for then, goodbye.